Today, airport dining as you've probably never seen it before, what might just be the cutest cabin crew uniform in disguise, and a close-up look at some of the best landside views anywhere. At a time when affordable full-service flying is disappearing across much of the world, is China bucking the trend and keeping it alive? Today we're going to take a look. So, come with me as we get aboard Sichuan Airlines and head down to a southeastern powerhouse, the megacity of Guangzhou, to see what it's really like to fly domestic economy in China 2025. It would be a stretch to say today's journey is an emotional one, but it definitely stirs some vivid memories from my early days living in China, now some 15 years ago. This is Chongqing Jiangbei International Airport, serving a vast municipality of around 33 million people. It handles about 45 million passengers annually, and the city itself goes by a few nicknames, including the Mountain City, and more significantly perhaps, the gateway to China's west. The first substantial urban area lies roughly 20 kilometres from here. Today, however, we're departing from Terminal 2, the airport's much older and smaller country cousin, whose role has been somewhat diminished since the 2017 opening of Terminal 3. That newer terminal marked Chongqing's entry into the long list of Chinese cities boasting a truly monolithic world-class airport complex. We'll be heading southeast to the megacity of Guangzhou on Sichuan Airlines, a full-service carrier you may not have heard much about outside China, but one with a pretty interesting backstory. Founded in 1986, the airline operates primary hubs across southwestern China, including right here in Chongqing, as well as Chengdu and Kunming. They run a fleet of over 200 aircraft, all Airbus, making them the largest Airbus operator in China. In 2024, they handled around 30 million passengers, making them the fifth biggest carrier in mainland China, behind the likes of China Southern and Air China. Their network reaches more than 140 destinations across 22 countries, including cities in Asia, Europe, North America and Oceania. And here's a wild one. In 2018, Sichuan Airlines Flight 3U8633 suffered a cockpit windshield failure at 32,000 feet. The co-pilot was partially ejected from the aircraft, but Captain Liu Chuanjian managed to land the plane safely. All 119 passengers survived. Back in the terminal, after possibly the loneliest check-in I've ever had, I was curious what Landside treats Terminal 2 might have to offer these days before heading through security. Turns out, there's quite a bit to gawk at if you've got time to kill before your flight. In the connecting walkway between the A and B wings, I came across these charming pieces of art, each depicting scenes from everyday life in old Chongqing. And if you're in urgent need of that last-minute air-dried sausage, don't worry, they've got you covered. Can't say I've ever seen that for sale at Heathrow though. Upstairs, I found the terminal's main food court, offering a range of mostly Sichuan-style dishes, famous of course for their mouth-burning spicy properties. From up here, you also get what might just be the best landside apron views in China, if not the world. I never understand why airport architects sometimes seem to have gone to such lengths to prevent decent views of the action down on the tarmac. Looking at you, Dubai. Anyway, I haven't been everywhere, so what's your favourite airport in terms of views? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to know. My Trip.com Platinum status enabled free lounge access for today's flight. It was, well, okay for a freebie, but some way short of the more premium-looking Sichuan Airlines lounge nearby. There was all the usual drinks and some snacks on offer, but turns out I was 20 minutes early for hot food. It was 11:10 in the morning. However, I was bang on time for some Russian vodka had the mood have taken me. As I make my way towards the gate, it's worth mentioning that Chongqing Airport is in the midst of a major expansion. As part of its fifth phase development, a new terminal, 3B, shown here under construction, is now open and linked to the main terminal building via underground monorail. In addition to this, a fourth runway has been added and was open for use in late 2024. The gate itself is surprisingly comfortable and quite green. I mentioned at the top of the video that this terminal brings back a lot of memories for me. I recall being right here about 12 years ago and witnessing a full-on airport brawl amongst some passengers who'd completely lost the run of themselves after being delayed 3 hours for a flight to China's far west. Oh, happy memories indeed. And here's our ride for today's flight to Guangzhou. A 14-year-old A320 in the standard Sichuan Airlines red and white livery featuring 196 seats, 16 business in a 2-2 configuration, with the remaining 180 seats laid out in the usual 3-3. Oh, and by the way, if you're curious about the cost of today's ticket, then stick around till the end and all will be revealed. Each time I take a domestic flight in China, I think I always pick up a sense of minor dread from some cabin crew, as they try to remember the few words of English they know when I board. I remember flying Jiangbei Airlines to London once, and the cabin crew member serving me brought his phone to translate at my seat. My spoken Mandarin is okay, so I don't have any problems, but if it wasn't, I'd definitely stick to one-worded pidgin English when communicating. We passed through the business cabin. The seat did look pretty nice, but not sure I'd pay 5 times the price for such a short hop. The cabin was spotlessly clean, if a little jaded, and right here was my seat, 27k, on the window. My travel app tells me this seat is in the bottom 25% for both leg room and width, but for me, being over 6 foot, it was absolutely fine. There was no charging socket that I could see, but there was a seat back pocket and a fold-down tray table. In-flight entertainment was courtesy of these overhead screens. They would turn into a bit of a gripe in a few minutes, but more on that once we're in the sky. We pushed back slightly ahead of time and began our taxi out to the runway. Today's flight will see us travel 980 kilometers over the mountains of Sichuan towards the lush green lowlands of Guangdong province. The flight time is 1 hour and 45 minutes. Just a really quick one before we take off. At the time of recording, I'm still new to this YouTube thing and really trying to grow the channel. If you're enjoying the journey, then please consider hitting subscribe, or if you have any feedback, good or bad, please leave it in the comments to help me grow. It will be massively appreciated. That's all. Let's get in the sky. So about that fold-down screen that quite ironically, as it turned out, displayed the safety video. It stayed down during the first phase of takeoff. Of course they're meant to be stowed securely, just like tray tables and window shades. This was a definite black mark against today's flight. If you've never flown on a Chinese airline before, a few in-flight differences you'll notice straight off the bat. First off, the seatbelt sign stays on much longer after takeoff and comes back on well before landing. This is down to stricter regulations from China's aviation authority. This guy is an air marshal. You'll see them passing through the cabin on every route, though I've rarely seen any unruly behaviour, apart from ignoring mobile phone regulations. After about 40 minutes, the cabin service began. Check out the cute panda uniforms. There was tea, coffee, soft drink and various juices available. But there's usually no alcohol served on Chinese domestic flights and quite often, to be honest, on longer international routes as well. We were served these snacks. It's all free, so I'm not really complaining, but when I booked the flight, it said the ticket included a quote-unquote meal. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but anyway, like I said, it was free. I'm not sure if Western full-service carriers serve complimentary food for domestic or regional flights now. Let me know in the comments what your experience is. I have to mention though, today's flight was really smooth and turbulence-free. I spent a good deal of my time in the air enjoying the changing landscapes below. If you're the kind of person who's curious about plain bathrooms, then here it is. It was clean and a bathroom. The approach into Guangzhou Baiyun International Airport isn't the prettiest in the world, and today's weather didn't exactly help, but we were 20 minutes ahead of schedule, and I really appreciated the buttery landing. So how much did it cost to fly with Sichuan Airlines today? I booked a return ticket between Chongqing and Guangzhou, costing me 970 RMB. I find ticket prices in China can fluctuate wildly, as the same ticket a week later was about 30% more expensive, but I guess that's the same world over. And that just about wraps up my review of Chinese domestic air travel in 2025 for today. Of course, this is just one airline of many operating in this country, and I'm hoping to feature many more of them very soon. So let me know if there are any airlines or routes that you'd like to see covered in the comments. Here's my list of high and low lights from today's trip. Thanks for coming along and sticking around until the end. See you in the next one.